Hey, what's up? This video is entitled "Do Not Give Up," because it's the world has always had its difficulties for sure, and there is, of course, if it isn't saber-toothed tiger, then it's artificial food. It's something that human beings have to be on the lookout for, and it's going to challenge your experience here. But too many of us, I think, give up too easily. And the one thing I've noticed is sort of the quick fix mentality, but you might want to start thinking of it in terms of the long term, getting into something as a lifestyle, trying to make permanent changes, instead of I'm going to drink less, or I'm going to smoke less, or I'm going to eat less sugar, or eat less carbs, or whatever your trip is. You might think in terms of trying to find a way to get to where almost every single thing that you do is benefiting your purpose in life and making you a better, healthier, happy, more vibrant human being. And there is a lot going on for sure in our society that kind of drags us down. A lot of it is intentional, but of course, I realize I'm a kind of a hardcore conspiracy nut. I don't use the word theory anymore because all the conspiracies keep coming true. I think a conspiracy theorist is either a truth seeker or just someone who's ahead of their time and can basically understand the basic common sense. But how much of it's actually done intentionally with us to be diminished through all the various ways that the sort of the corporate mentality pushes you down and puts you on a chart and makes you on a bar graph and looks at you as a number, but you're actually a human being. When you look at yourself in the mirror, you have feelings and you have dreams and you have goals and you have an inner calling. Some of us may be so sort of toxic in a way. I don't mean that just in a it can be a toxic environment. It could have been a toxic childhood. It can be trauma. There can be chemicals. There is a lot of pharmaceutical confusion and diminishment in our potential for sensitization. So we might not even be aware of the things that we're doing that are diminishing our potential. Some of us are aware and don't want to do anything about it. But then if you can get motivated and you do want to make some changes, weight loss is a big one. Eliminating a disease is another, making more money, maybe even having a successful relationship or improving the one that you're in. But the title of the video is Don't Give Up, and you have to put out effort at first. What's cool about effort is that at first, and my recommendation is to pick one thing and put effort into that. Like, what's the biggest thing that's dragging you down? For some of you, like, your life is pretty good, but maybe it's those damn cigarettes and they stink and your people are like, yeah, mom, it's great, but you smell bad and everything and it, but you're trying to, like, that's the one thing you want to focus on, is the biggest elephant in the room, and don't try to take it all on at one time. And maybe you can't even really, because we all know we're just not ready. Like, there's a time in your life and you're just like, I can't give up weed right now. You just know that you can't. It's not the right time. So you try to find something else or whatever it is that you're dealing with. He's like, I can't change my diet right now, but I can drink a green juice, but I just can't give up the burgers and I can't give up the restaurants or the myriad of things, but prepare yourself and you will be one day ready to let go of the big demons. But in the meantime, what you can do in a case like that is start cultivating some smaller, better habits that are going to add to your sense of self-worth and self-esteem and self-value, which will lead up to you wanting more. You'll feel better about yourself. You'll have a higher, more, expansive frequency and sort of biological baseline. If you can inch your way up by making one good decision every day. I mean, sometimes we go too far, too fast, and we hit the wall. But this incremental change with a very high, set your vision as high as you can to be thin and have no diseases and to be off all the drugs, or, to be completely sober, or to be back and to fit into your skinny jeans, or whatever your deal is, man. Don't give up, damn it. I'm telling you. I think one thing about myself that I like, that I've recognized a long time ago, and I'm trying to be nicer to myself in all other areas, but one thing I have is persistence. I think other people might have been better at, like, oh, raw food, okay, boom, bam, perfect, right away, straight on from day one, but I had to really, really work hard to even understand what raw food was, and how to get on how to be balanced with it, and not snap back, and not freak out, and not be like, oh, it's raw food, but then it'd be these big giant piles of crazy stuff that was even worse than a little bit of cooked food. So it takes a while for some of us to get our thing down. Things like masturbation, that takes a lot of work. The porn, scrolling, cigarettes, alcohol, the food, and the gambling, or the 9 million other addictions that we have and no one knows. There are women with masturbation addiction, and that's not very common, but they're just in there, 3, 4, 5 times a day, because that's the biochemistry that we get, because we're lacking the fullness of the joy, of a real fulfillment, which is actually discipline and mastery, which you don't really get because we live in this pleasure-centered society where it's just constantly, it's like, oh, quick fix, boom. I don't have to feel my feelings. I don't have to do anything. I can just constantly be in a state of pleasure. But what happens is that just burns the candle at both ends. That just burns out the nervous system, burns out the brain, burns out the system, and clogs up the system. It's too much, too hard, and too fast. And the more simple and more open and spacious we can create our lives, we can have more life force, God force, instead of having so much pleasure and so much stimulation crammed in. It's nice to take time and create space, simplify your life as much as possible, because ultimately it's just finding peace within yourself. Whereas none of the external manifestations of accumulations, or even the external successes, it's more of an internal, like the insides are saying, hey, you need to quit drinking so much coffee, or whatever, your adrenals are burned out, and then you're going to have to make a lot of life adjustments, but it's nice to have health as a baseline to base your life. Not everyone can do that, but everyone can take one step each day. And it's amazing, we've all heard this 9 million times. I'm not saying anything new. I just wanted to make this video. I saw this very inspiring thing just a minute, and I was like, I'm gonna make a video on never giving up, and because that is kind of my thing. I like discipline and genius and laser sharp, erudite sophistication, and mastering something on the first go is not my strong suit. But put your head down like a stubborn goat and just keep plowing ahead, and eventually you make the mistakes you need to make to learn what it is that gets in the way, and then you can start eliminating the mistakes, and you just wake up and you just get sick of it. Certain things you just get sick of it, because you're being aware. You want to change. You watch yourself fail. You see why you fail. You see what leads up to it. Failing in your attempt to get sober, or to eat better, or to exercise. And so I'll leave you with this. You want to be persistent and make one positive step every day. It's nice to have a list of the things that you'd like to do positive, for sure. I'm going to do this. I'm going to go to the gym or whatever, and check those off. That really works well. But also being gentle on yourself, because beating yourself up when you fall short, it's just, okay, next day, then you say, okay, I'm definitely going to make it to the gym tomorrow. I didn't get it today. I just things went haywire or whatever, and I didn't hit the gym, so I don't get to check that box. Instead of spiraling down out of control, you're just like, okay, I'll hit the gym tomorrow and check the box again. So kind of like being disciplined, but also gentle and loving and persistent, and never give up on yourself and your dreams and your vision and your goal. It might take some time, man, but this is a whole lifetime. So never give up on yourself. Keep moving forward with your dreams. Can you dig it? I'm out.